Hello, wonderful audience. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with me. Hello, dear viewers. Get ready to expand your horizons as we delve into Cameron Mitchell, actor. Cameron Mitchell, born Cameron McDowell Mitzell, November 4, 1918, July 6, 1994, was an American film, television, and stage actor. He began his career on Broadway before entering films in the years, appearing in several major features. Late in his career, he became known for his roles in numerous exploitation films in the years and years. Mitchell began acting on Broadway in the late years before signing a contract with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer and appearing in such films as Cass Timberlane 1945 and Homecoming 1948. He subsequently originated the role of Happy Loman in the Broadway production of Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman 1949, a role he reprised in the 1951 film adaptation. With 20th Century Fox, he appeared in How to Marry a Millionaire 1953. Throughout the years, he appeared in spaghetti westerns and Italian films, including several collaborations with director Mario Bava on US television. From the mid-years through the years, he appeared in numerous exploitation and horror films and television shows. The time has come to unravel the secrets behind early life and gain a deeper understanding. Mitchell was born in Dallastown, Pennsylvania, of Scottish and German descent, one of 7 children of Rev. Charles Michael Mitzell and Catherine Isabella Earhart Mitzell. Young Cameron moved to Chicora, Pennsylvania, in 1921 when his father was accepted as pastor of the St. John's Reformed Church, Butler, Pennsylvania, and grew up in Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania. He was a 1936 graduate of Greenwood High School in Millerstown, Pennsylvania. Get ready for a thought-provoking discussion as we delve into stage work and its impact on our understanding. In 1939, Mitchell made his Broadway debut in a minor role in Jeremiah. During this time, he became an NBC page at NBC Radio City, which led to a minor role in the 1940 production of The Taming of the Shrew with Alfred Lund and Lynn Fontani's National Theatre Company. In 1941, he appeared again on Broadway in The Trojan Women. In 1944, he served as a bombardier with the United States Army Air Forces during World War II. In this section, we'll be exploring transition to film. Mitchell's film career began when he was contracted to Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer in 1945 for 3 years, with minor roles in films including They Were Expendable 1945, starring John Wayne and Robert Montgomery. He was featured with Lana Turner and Spencer Tracy in Cass Timberlane, and with Wallace Beery in The Mighty McGurk, both 1947. He concluded his MGM period with 2 films starring Clark Gable, Homecoming, also with Turner, and Command Decision, both 1948. Mitchell originated the role of Happy Loman in Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman 1949 on Broadway. After its closing, he appeared again in the Broadway production of Southern Exposure 1950. Mitchell reprised the role of Happy Loman in the 1951 film adaptation released by Columbia Pictures. Mitchell was contracted with 20th Century Fox, where he had a prolific career in such films as a version of Les Miserables 1952 as Marius, and in the comedy How to Marry a Millionaire 1953, in which he portrayed a wealthy man attempting to romance a single woman played by Lauren Bacall. Marilyn Monroe and Betty Grable were the other female leads. He then appeared alongside Gary Cooper, Susan Hayward, and Richard Widmark in the drama Garden of Evil 1954, followed by a supporting role in Samuel Fuller's Cold War drama Hell and High Water 1954. He subsequently co-starred with Marlon Brando in The 1954, with Gable and Jane Russell in the western The Tall Men 1955, and the film version of the stage musical Carousel 1956. Mitchell was loaned back to MGM to co-star with Doris Day and James Cagney in the musical drama Love Me or Leave Me 1955. Mitchell co-starred with Joanne Woodward and Shereen North in the drama No Down Payment 1957. Get ready to immerse yourself in the world of television and exploitation films as we examine its impact and relevance. Mitchell starred in an unsold 1959 television pilot called I Am a Lawyer, but he achieved success on television during the latter part of his career, where he is best remembered for starring as Buck Cannon in the USA's NBC Western series, The High Chaparral. He had the lead as John Lackland in the 1961 syndicated adventure series The Beachcomber. Throughout the years, Mitchell starred in numerous Italian sword and sandal, horror, fantasy, and thriller films, several of which were directed by Mario Bava. Among his collaborations with Bava were the action film Eric the Conqueror 1961, playing a Viking, Blood and Black Lace 1964, in which he portrayed the owner of a fashion house plagued by a series of brutal murders, and as a knife-throwing Viking warrior in Knives of the Avenger 1966. He also appeared in westerns such as Minnesota Clay 1964 and Ride in the Whirlwind 1966. In later years, Mitchell appeared in villainous roles as a sheriff-turned-outlaw in Humbra 1967, a bandit in Buck and the Preacher 1972, and a Ku Klux Klan racist in The Klansman 1974. Beginning in 1970, he intermittently filmed The Other Side of the Wind with director Orson Welles, a project that was unreleased until 2018. He portrayed Jeremiah Worth in the Swiss Family Robinson TV series, and had a supporting role opposite Leo Fong in the Filipino film Enforcer from Death Row 1976. Mitchell was subsequently featured on an episode of Bonanza and SWAT. He guest starred on the Landslide episode of Movin' On in 1975. He appeared on Gene Evans's short-lived Spencer's Pilots on CBS in 1976. Mitchell also had roles in horror films and in many exploitation films, such as The Toolbox Murders 1978, the creature feature The Swarm 1978, the slasher film The Demon 1979, and the slasher film Silent Scream 1980. He appeared again on Broadway in the 1978 production of The November People, and the same year starred as Henry Gordon in the television miniseries adaptation of Black Beauty. Now, let's shift our perspective and explore later work through a fresh lens, unlocking new perspectives. Late in his career, Mitchell played a gangster for laughs in My Favorite Year 1982, and a police detective in the 1983 pornographic film Dixie Ray, Hollywood Star. He had a supporting role in the anthology horror films Night Train to Terror 1985 and From a Whisper to a Scream 1987, as well as roles portraying right-wing General Edwin A. Walker in Prince Jack 1985, and as Captain Alex Johnson in Space Mutiny, a 1988 South African science fiction film that appeared as an experiment in episode 820 of Mystery Science Theater 3000. In 1984, he had the role of Duke Kovac in Partners in Crime. He also appeared in an episode of Knight Rider, playing the role of criminal Bernie Mitchell. Let's now venture into the realm of personal life and explore the fascinating intricacies it holds. On August 17, 1940, Mitchell married Johanna Mendel in Lancaster, New Hampshire. The Mendel family was based in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, where Fred Mendel founded Intercontinental Packers, a major family-owned meat packing operation. The Mitchells' 4 children held dual Canadian citizenship. Johanna Mitchell gave birth to their first son, Robert Cameron Mitchell. Although Mitchell and Johanna later divorced, he maintained close ties to Canada. Their daughter, Camille Mitchell, and another son, Charles, later known as Cameron Mitchell, Jr., are both actors. Cameron and Johanna's second son, Michael Frederick Fred Mitchell, was president of Intercontinental Packers for many years, working alongside his mother, Johanna, who was chairwoman of the board. The company is now known as Mitchell's Gourmet Foods and still operates out of Saskatoon, now owned by Maple Leaf Foods. Mitchell married Lisa Jacobs Gertz in June 1957. His first wife, Johanna, filed a lawsuit alleging cruelty and sought over $2,000 a month in financial support. Mitchell and Gertz had 3 children, Kate, Jake, and Jono. In February 1974, Mitzell entered his second bankruptcy, with $2.40 million in debts contrasted against $26 into bank accounts. He told Associated Press writer Bob Thomas, "The reasons are the same as have happened to other actors over the years. Stupid, bad investments. Parasites who live off you. Too much trust in people who handle your money." On May 9, 1973, Mitzell married Margaret Brock Johnson Mozingo, whom he met when he was in Thompson, South Carolina, making the Midnight Man. Their marriage took place in Puerto Rico. In November 1976, his wife applied to civil court to annul the marriage on the grounds of bigamy. Arguing she was the victim of deception, she said she married her husband before his divorce from Gertz was finalized on February 23, 1974. Mitzell's marriage to Mozingo was formally annulled. In March 1976, Gertz had sued Mozingo for $53,000, a sum she claimed Mitzell and Mozingo agreed to pay her as a divorce settlement. Mitzell died of lung cancer on July 6, 1994. In Pacific Palisades, California, at age 75. He is buried in Desert Memorial Park in Cathedral City, California. Leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this video.